Oh hey, it's Emily and it is time to talk about my reading plans for the month of November, which is very weird to say, but here we are. So as far as what I'm just gonna jump right in. As far as what I'm currently listening to, I'm currently listening to the last bit of Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the second book in the Diviners series, and this is what I was listening for kind of an end of October around Halloween spooky read, and because I read the Diviners last year around Halloween and loved reading it around that time. And the Diviner series follows a group or a cast of characters who have a special ability. So one of them, for example, can touch objects and kind of read or see history about that object. And they use these abilities to, in the first one, solve a murder mystery. Super fun series. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really enjoying that one so far, the second one as well so far. So that's what I'm currently listening to. Physically, I'm currently reading The Iron Jackal by Chris Whitting. This is the third book in the Cuddy J series, which is a space pirate series. So if you're wanting Firefly in book form, highly recommend that series. So that's what I'm listening to and reading currently, and I do have a decent number of hopes and aspirations for what I can read this month. So I do hope to listen to the voting booth on election day. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be an interesting time. So it's election time here in the US, and I just thought it would be super interesting to listen to this on election day. It is a contemporary that takes place on election day, I believe is set in the US, and talks about voting in this country, not only generally how important voting is, but also what restrictions are being placed on certain people's ability to vote right now and how awful that is. And I just think it'd be interesting to listen to it actually on election day, since it takes place on election day. We'll see. So that's one plan. I also have a few things either out from the library on Libby or very soon to be out on the library from Libby. So I currently have Well Played by Jen DeLuca out. So I'm going to listen to that relatively soon. And this one is the second book after Well Met. And this is a series of adult romances, contemporary romances that take place in a Renaissance fair, or kind of center around a Renaissance fair. Super fun. I really enjoyed the first one. I'm skeptical, a little skeptical about the second one. I've heard a little bit more information about some tropes that are involved that make me a little nervous and think I obviously hope I like it as much as the first one, or I wouldn't want to read it. But I'm a little bit more cautious going into this one based on a few things I know about some tropes used in this book. So we'll see, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I have that out on audio from the library. I also have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I want to say this centers around, is it a library in hell maybe? But I believe the main idea of the book focuses around being able to look at, in book form, be able to look at stories about how your life would have turned out if you had made different decisions from the ones that you made in life. And I'm just super intrigued. So I have that. It's almost ready on audio. I also have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. And this one follows or centers around a magical school where if you enroll and go to the school, you either graduate or you don't make it out alive. That's really all I know. So it seemed like a fun book to kind of read around this time. Didn't get to it in October, but seemed like a fun one, so I'm very excited about that. And then as far as a couple of other physical reads, I'm hoping to get to Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. This is the third and final book in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in kind of a larger realm of the Elderling world that she has. It has a fair number of trilogies associated with this larger world. This is the third book in the first trilogy of that world and follows Fitz, who is the bastard son of the king in waiting. And in the first book, his maternal grandfather drops him back off at the palace and basically is just like, here, you take care of him. And he's raised by the stable hands, And the king, so his father abdicates, but the king, who is still alive and ruling, wants Fitz to be trained as an assassin. So he's trained as an assassin, and it starts when he's very young. So he goes through some training, he kind of starts going on different missions, and this follows him throughout his, I think, young adult life. And I've adored this series. It's a very slow, character-driven series, and the second half of the second book was super, super cool. The politics is really starting to heat up. So I'm very intrigued to read the third and final book in that series. I also have Incendiary. So this is the gorgeous artwork on the Fairy Loot edition. And this one follows it's a YA fantasy, follows a young woman who I believe was, so she has she's a dream, no, not a dream thief, a memory thief. So her magic involves memory, and she was used by the crown for her ability. She was essentially kidnapped and used by the crown for her abilities. And I think she's trying to work for the resistance now, but she has to go back kind of undercover, essentially back to the castle in order to help the resistance. I think that's kind of a vague synopsis of this one, but I'm hoping to get to that one in November. There are a few other plans, or a couple of other things that I really would like to get to. One is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I have a physical copy of this back in Arlington, but I also have the audiobook, so I'm really hoping I can listen to the audiobook. I've thoroughly enjoyed Brandon Sanderson's work so far, so I'm eager to just continue going on with his works and hoping to continue to enjoy them. This one follows two sisters who are princesses, I believe, and one has kind of been groomed and trained for her entire life to enter into a political marriage, and so she's kind of been trained in court politics, trained in politics in general. She's going to enter into this arranged marriage for political reasons and to kind of help her country out. But she's also the favorite daughter of their father, and so he, instead of sending her, actually tells her younger sister, no, actually you're going to go and enter in this political marriage. And she's completely unprepared for this. And so it follows her, entering into this political marriage and her sister trying to kind of help save her, I think. I've heard it's really funny. As I said, I've enjoyed Brandon Sanderson's work so far. I also, the audiobook for A Reaper at the Gates is also available at my library. And this is the third book in the Ember and the Ashes series, and the fourth one is about to come out in December, so I'd like to read the third one so that hopefully I can read the fourth one relatively soon after it comes out. And this is such a cool series. I really enjoyed this series so far. So this world follows a group of oppressed people and the people who are oppressing them, like classic political fantasy setup. And one of them, her brother was taken, and so she has a lot of resentment towards the people who are in charge, and she wants to help the resistance get her brother was taken and imprisoned, and she wants to partner up with the rebellion to get her brother out of jail. And there's also someone who is in the military school for kind of the group in charge, and he doesn't particularly think that what their group is doing is at all right, and the two paths of those people cross, and because the resistance wants her to go undercover at this military school. So those two characters' paths cross, and it kind of goes from there. It's a really fun series, so I want to read the third book in that series before the fourth one comes out. And just kind of other, who knows what else. Maybe I really want to include some nonfiction at some point in there as well. I've done pretty good about reading a bit of nonfiction every month so far this year, and I want to keep going with that, so maybe there will be some other stuff thrown in there as well. But those are my main set of reading plans for the month of November. So let me know if you've read or are excited about any of those books. Should be a really fun reading month, and yeah, I'll be sure to leave my Twitter and Instagram link down below. That's where I like to hang out. Be sure to subscribe for more bookish content. I will also leave more information below about how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.